What happens when a successful jewelry designer accidentally inherits a piece of American garden history and decides to pour 3 decades of her life into bringing it back to its former glory? The answer might surprise you, and it definitely challenges everything we think we know about garden restoration. Jewelry creator Janet Mavec certainly never planned to become the guardian of a century-old botanical treasure in New Jersey. Her journey began in the most unexpected way, through marriage. When she wed finance executive Wayne Nordberg in 1996, she suddenly found herself co-steward of Bird Haven Farm, a sprawling 100-acre garden estate in Pottersville that had been quietly deteriorating for decades. But here's where the story gets fascinating. This wasn't just any ordinary garden property. The original landscape was conceived and christened back in 1816 by none other than Harriet Stratemeyer Adams, the brilliant mind who gave the world Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys mystery series. Adams didn't just write these beloved stories under her pseudonyms Carolyn Keene and Franklin W. Dixon. She was also a passionate gardener who transformed her property into a working paradise complete with 300 chickens, extensive vegetable plots, vibrant flower gardens, and even a functioning greenhouse. Mavec's background seemed almost destined for this unexpected role. During the 1980s, she had established an antique jewelry boutique on prestigious Madison Avenue, focusing specifically on 19th-century pieces crafted to resemble flowers, birds, and fruits. Later, she launched Janet Mavec Jewelry, her own line that drew inspiration directly from the natural world. So when she encountered Bird Haven Farm, it was as if her professional passion for nature-inspired beauty had found its perfect physical expression. After spending 5 years getting acquainted with the property, Mavec felt ready to tackle the monumental task of restoration and expansion, with Nordberg's enthusiastic backing. The garden had already caught the attention of Elle Decor, which featured an earlier iteration in 2011. Since then, Mavec has thoughtfully added a sophisticated boxwood garden, a dedicated children's play area, and an entirely new extended border specifically designed to attract and support local bird and bee populations. And this is the part most people miss. Mavec's approach to restoration wasn't about imposing her own vision, but about finding the right collaborator who could honor the garden's historic essence while bringing it into the modern era. Her book, Bird Haven Farm, The Story of an Original American Garden, which Rizzoli published in September 2024, chronicles this deeply personal journey. The volume features stunning photography by Ngoc Minh Ngo and includes recipes from Gail Monahan, creating a complete sensory experience of the garden. The turning point came when Mavec discovered Mirrors of Paradise, a 2000 publication by Spanish landscape architect Fernando Caruncho. This Madrid-based designer, who uniquely studied philosophy before transitioning into landscape architecture, advocates for gardens that masterfully balance classic structural elements with contemporary minimalist aesthetics. His philosophy resonated so deeply with Mavec that she reached out to him directly in 2003. Caruncho agreed to take on the project, marking one of his earliest American endeavors. The work was really about editing the garden as opposed to adding to it, Mavec explains. And Fernando is such a good editor. This approach represents a fascinating departure from typical garden restoration projects, which often involve dramatic overhauls or complete redesigns. Caruncho's vision transformed the property into a series of concentric circles, with a strikingly minimalist fountain serving as the central focal point. This fountain, inspired by medieval village centers, is elegantly framed by the existing buildings, including the original 1816 stone house. The design concept treats the entire site as if it were a medieval village, creating natural gathering spaces and sightlines that draw visitors through the landscape. The restoration also breathed new life into an aging apple orchard, where younger trees were strategically planted in a relaxed grid pattern to complement the existing mature specimens. This blend of old and new perfectly embodies the garden's philosophy of honoring history while embracing evolution. But here's where it gets controversial. Mavec didn't stop at following Caruncho's master plan. On a slope already lined with boxwood, she introduced her own bold intervention, an oval clearing featuring an outdoor sculpture installation. Tree stumps are arranged in an infinity symbol pattern, surrounding a central totem adorned with deer antlers. This deeply personal addition brings an almost mystical quality to the space, creating what Mavec describes as a sense of stillness and spirituality. A carefully designed path leads visitors to the garden's most dramatic feature, an expansive field of wildflowers. Caruncho recalls in his book Essay that this landscape initially felt like an encroaching army, as if the surrounding woods were threatening to swallow the entire space. His ingenious solution involved selectively trimming back the tree line and sculpting the field into a perfect oval shape, with trails radiating outward into the forest like spokes on a wheel. This location holds special significance as traditional horse country. Legendary figure Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis once rode through these very trails in Pottersville. While Mavec no longer rides herself, the trails continue to welcome both equestrians and hikers, maintaining the area's rich recreational heritage. Adjacent to the wildflower field stands the Party Barn, where Mavec regularly hosts everything from intimate seasonal dinners to large-scale celebrations like family weddings. From inside this rustic venue, guests can gaze out at the Monastery Garden, where Mavec's beloved irises bloom in precise geometric formations. Caruncho's signature mathematical precision is on full display here. Within a larger rectangular framework, 8 triangular flower beds create a symmetrical pattern around a central birdbath. Since Caruncho's initial involvement, the garden has continued expanding, and Mavec now works alongside a dedicated small team to maintain the extensive grounds. Yet not everything follows strict order, and perhaps this is where the garden's true magic lies. The fruit and vegetable garden deliberately celebrates wildness and spontaneity, with colorful flowers intermingling freely among practical crops like beans, cherries, pears, melons, tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. Mavec frequently starts seeds in the original greenhouse, carefully transplanting them outdoors as weather conditions become favorable. She and Nordberg regularly cook and enjoy the fruits of their labor, creating a direct connection between garden and table. The journey back to the main residence passes by a swimming pond that dates back to Adam's original era. This tranquil spot has become Mavec's personal retreat, where she relaxes with a good book while observing the resident frogs, turtles, and fish from beneath the shade of an elegant cabana designed by architect Manuel Castile. During summer months, her grandchildren enjoy swimming in the historic pond, adding new layers of family memories to this storied location. Like all truly living spaces, the garden continues its constant evolution, growing, shifting, and surprising its caretakers and visitors alike. This ongoing sense of discovery, combined with the daily tending and intimate care invested in each individual plant, provides the deep satisfaction that sustains Mavec's commitment to Birdhaven Farm. But here's what's really controversial about this story. Is this kind of intensive, decades-long garden restoration project something that should be celebrated, or does it represent a luxury that's increasingly out of reach for most people? In an era where many struggle to maintain small urban gardens or even houseplants, what does it mean when someone can dedicate 30 years and presumably significant financial resources to restoring a 100-acre historic landscape? Even if you cannot personally hear the bird song that gives this remarkable place its name, Mavec's newly published book allows you to read about this extraordinary journey and imagine the countless reasons why the birds choose to sing in this carefully crafted paradise. What do you think? Is this the kind of garden restoration project that inspires you to dream bigger? Or does it highlight the growing gap between gardening aspirations and reality for most people? Should historic gardens like this be preserved as private passions, or should there be more public access to such restored landscapes? Share your thoughts about whether this represents the best of American garden culture, or something more complicated.